Trip Kramer here from tripadvice.com. Let's talk about women over 30. I don't know if you've noticed this, but women over 30 are pretty much like 99% of women over 30 are looking for a serious relationship. I'm laughing because I know it sounds like such a dramatic amount, but it is true. Women over 30 are looking for a serious relationship. What happens, and what's happening right now, is that there's a lot of women out there who in their 20s know that they have a high sexual market value, and because of this high sexual market value, they have a lot of options. So when they're in their 20s, they get to have a lot of fun. They get to date a lot of guys. They get to have sex with a lot of guys. They get to experience all kinds of fun stuff. If they're very attractive and have high sexual market value, like they're super cute and they're young, they're going to get invitations to big parties. They're going to get invitations to boats. I even know stories of really just girls with a mediocre social media following who are just attractive, who have been DM'd by celebrities. I mean, can you imagine the ego that gets inflated from all these women who are 18 to about 27 years old? It's really insane, but it is true. This is what's happening. So of course, with so much choice, what ends up happening to a lot of these women is they end up kind of picking and choosing all of these different qualities from all these different guys that they've met to create a large list so that they end up having what's called their perfect guy. Now, the problem with this is when they have such a long list, of course, the longer the list, the smaller the pool that's available to you, right? Imagine if you had your perfect quality woman, you had a list of 50 things. Chances are it's going to be probably hard to meet that person. Now, for a woman, she probably doesn't think that it is hard to meet that person because she has so much option available to her, and she's seen that she has so much option available to her. So what ends up happening is women start getting into their late 20s, early 30s, and then beyond. The problem lies in the fact that they have lower sexual market value because more men are going for women in their 20s versus women in their 30s. And they have a very high list of men that they want to be with. This becomes a problem of women who now want to settle down in their 30s, and they're having more trouble doing that. Should also add that society puts a lot of pressure on women to be a career girl boss, to make a lot of money, to be super powerful, to be a mom one day and be a great mom one day, and to find a husband. So women have all of this pressure on them, and one of the pressures lately is women being amazing in the workplace. So that becomes a priority to them in their 20s, trying to hustle and grind and have a good position in the workplace, which then doesn't allow for maybe time to find a husband. Generally speaking, of course, I know that there's exceptions here. So this becomes a further problem because now they are in their 30s, they have lower sexual market value, and then they're trying to find a guy who has got a long list that they're looking for. So it's a very small window of opportunity for them to find this man. And then because they're probably making a decent living in their career because they've worked hard at it, well, women naturally and generally want to be meeting men and being with men who have a higher salary than them, so their pool becomes even more narrow, and then you end up with a lot of single women. And the studies have shown that there is more single women than ever, and there's even another study that showed that women these days are more unhappier than ever. Now, why am I sharing this with you? You need to understand the state of the world right now. And I'm going to be doing more videos on this, but you need to understand the reality of what's happening and how women are acting and why they're acting that way. This might be one of the reasons why it's really hard for you to do online dating or to get a first date or to get a first date that turns into a second date. I'm not going to play victim here, and I don't want you to play victim, but we can't look past the idea that there are women out there who are always trying to seek the best. They feel more entitled than ever because they believe they have so many options, which many of them do. And that just gets you to get flaked on. So you get flaked on more, and you don't end up meeting the kind of woman that you want, and it takes a lot more work. Hence why I have a channel like this and why there's so many people who are seeking dating advice so they can meet more women. So how does this again affect you, and what is my advice from this? Well, I want you to make sure that you do not end up like these women who have a very long list and then become in their 30s trying to look for a serious relationship and having a hard time. You, my friend, need to be more realistic. And this is advice I'd give to a woman too, but I'm talking to you, my friend. You need to have a small list so you have a larger pool, right? The smaller the list, the larger the pool. I'm just going to give you a dumb example here, but let's just say you're like, oh yeah, she needs to be cute, right? That's it. Let's make an example that she only needed to be physically attractive. Well, that's a massive pool, right? But as you continue on and you add more to that list, the pool gets smaller and smaller. Okay, she has to be attractive, but she has to be a liberal or a conservative, or she has to, really want kids, or she has to be financially responsible, or she has to be a vegetarian, or she has to be a meat eater. Whatever those things are for you, I suggest picking 3. I call this the 3 non-negotiables. If you're looking for a relationship, we don't want you to be single, right? I mean, that's the whole point, is to meet someone and to get into a relationship. So why would you wait on doing that? But also you don't want to settle, so you got to have some amount that you're looking for. You shouldn't just be with anyone, but 3 is a very magic number because that amount will allow you to have a pool size that's going to be available to you to then find someone, so you don't have to remain single for too long. I'm all for casual relationships, and if you want to go out there and have casual relationships and nothing serious, that's fine too. But what I found is men seem to be a lot happier in relationships when they find someone who's amazing. So if you find someone who's amazing, that adds value to your life, that's supporting you, that's a fan of you, that's helping you be your best self, if you can find that woman, life is better. Studies have even shown if you have a successful marriage, so you have a marriage that you're working on to be successful and a long relationship, men actually live longer. Now, I know that a lot of guys do talk about the fact that marriage is something that is risky, and I agree. I'm 100%. That's why you should be getting a prenup if you need to get a prenup, and I know that it's still risky beyond that, and the divorce rate is very high. But I also know that a lot of happiness can derive from being in the right relationship. So again, it's about finding someone who is the correct one if you're looking to do that. Not pushing you to be in a relationship. You can do whatever you want. But if it is what you're looking for, make sure you're following the 3 non-negotiables. 3 things to look for in a woman. I talk more about this in my program called Hooked. You can check that out, getherhooked.com. That is a program that teaches you everything that you need to know to meet and attract more women and be able to build attraction with women that you find are very attractive themselves. And also how to create the 3 non-negotiables and how to filter for women who have the 3 non-negotiables. So if you want to learn more about that, go to getherhooked.com and check out my video course that is available to you to be able to, like I said, meet the kind of women you want. Hope that helps today. I'm sure I'll have some great comments from you down below, and I'll see you on the next video.